All right, welcome to Strength Flow. New year, getting that new habit. Come to this class every Wednesday, right? I'm Coach Matt. We'll take you through some primal movements today. We're going to get down on the ground and we're going to crawl around a little bit. So hopefully you're ready for that. But we can't do any of that without a proper warm-up. So let's go ahead and get down to hands and knees. We're going to work on bracing real quickly. All right, so we're going to work to some cat-cows if you're familiar. If not, we're going to work to extend that belly button down towards the ground. Let that low back arch as much as you can. Think about really stretching those abs out, really tightening that low back as much as you can. Then we're going to inverse that. We're going to push that low back to the ceiling. You're going to pull those abs in nice and tight. Create a nice rounded back. Actively pushing those arms in towards the ground. And then release and alternate back to the start. Squeezing that low back. Again, this time I want you to focus on pressing those arms down into the ground and that top of that head towards the ceiling. So we're creating length through the whole front of this position. And then we're going to reverse one more time, pushing that low back to the ceiling, pushing those arms into the ground. You're going to go ahead and push the crown of the head into the ground as well. Create that length. And reverse. Last time here, just feeling that extra mobility and trying to accentuate that. Reverse. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And relax. Go ahead and find that nice neutral position between those two extremes. All right. That's going to be kind of our baseline position. We're going to set those feet back into our plank position. All right, and we're just going to work to some shoulder taps. So we're going to take that left hand and we're going to reach for that right shoulder and replace back down. Right hand to that left shoulder and replace. All right, so just give me back and forth here. The wider those feet, the better base you have. I want your key here to be focused on it, not rotating those hips. All right, so we're not getting up into this. All right, we're going to try to keep that boat very steady, not rocking that boat. Hips being pushed down towards the ground. Stabilize here. Let's go two more. See that arm nice and strong, press into that ground and relax. All right, it's going to be a big key here is that support arm. So actively pressing into that ground. If you can think about your shoulder blade, if that is weighting back, all right, that's kind of pulling away from your back, there's a good chance that we're kind of soft in that support. So actively push that arm out. All right, bring that shoulder blade around. All right, create that good, strong support arm. Okay. Excuse me, that'll make sense here in a minute when we start talking about our movements. All right. So we're going to talk about primal position real quick. It's going to be kind of our foundational position, I guess. So just like that cat-cow setup that we did, okay? If you think about kind of going through that cat-cow, find those two extremes, then meeting in that middle, okay? With that nice neutral spine, that's going to be where we want to hold our abdomen, okay? Fingers are spread out nice and wide on the ground. We're actively pressing into that ground. Again, creating that nice, good, flat back. Those toes are going to tuck under. We're going to lift those knees up off the ground. This is our primal position, okay? Sometimes it's a quadruped position, okay? But you notice your core is engaged here. So what I want you to do here is you're going to step forward with that left hand, step forward with that right foot, okay? Opposite sides. And repeat with the right hand, left foot. And we're going to work into a nice little bear crawl here. We're going to go about 3 or 4 steps forward. And we're going to go about 3 or 4 steps backwards, returning back to that starting position. Okay? What I want you to be cautious of, we're going to do this one more time, is that low back. Okay? Think about you're balancing like a glass of water on that low back, and you don't want it to spill. So just like those shoulder taps, we've got to be very conscious of where our hips are and what they are doing. So when we're in that primal position, right, the reason that we're stepping opposite sides is to keep that balance. Okay, if I were to step both sides together, all right, that back is going to move a lot. I got water spilled all over me. Okay, opposite hand, opposite foot. And if you notice, I'm not taking very big steps. All right, the smaller steps we can take, the more controlled we are. Moving back and forth here, going whatever you see fit. About 2 more steps. And relax. Okay, that's our bear crawl. That'll be foundational in our movements today. All right, second movement here is going to be what we call a gorilla hop. So basically we're going to transition from that primal position to a standing position. So all we're going to do is when we're in that primal position, we're going to load that hop, all right, kind of sitting back almost like a child's pose. All right, and we're going to pull our hands forward, hop those feet to our hands, okay, kind of like a frog position. And we're just going to stand that up. Okay, to reverse that, we're just going to put those hands back down, hop those feet back, and here we are in that primal position. So if we do that again, we're going to load that back, pull and hop forward, and stand it up. All right, so great opener for those hips in that deep squat. All right, think about kind of driving those knees out, create space for that upper body to be down there. All right, so we're going to reverse that. Those hands down, hopping back. Let's go one more time. Sitting back. All right, kind of extending those lats. Pull and hop. Stand it up. All right. So now we're going to put all 3 of those together. We're going to go about a minute or 2 on here, just transitioning between the 3. So let's get down into that primal position. We're going to go for that bear crawl. Let's get 4 bear crawls going forward. And meet back equal. Okay? From that, we're going to hop those feet together. Or hop those feet towards the hands. Stand it up. Bring it back down. Hopping back. And we're going to crawl that on back. All right. One more time here going forward. That's about 4 or 5 steps, wherever you feel comfortable. Load it back. Hop it up. Stand. Take a breath. You're in this position. Squat it back down. Hop it back. And we'll crawl it back to start. And relax. All right. So we're going to throw one more position on here. Just because I think that you can handle it. I think it's not too much. Okay, so when we get to that standing position after we go for that hop, what we're going to do is a nice little pivot lunge. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. So our feet are going to be relatively wide apart. I'm going to take one knee. I'm going to drop that in towards the instep of that other foot. Ideally, we'd like this foot going forward. Okay. Sometimes that hip doesn't allow it, that's fine. If it rotates, go with it. So we're going to drop this knee in, just again promoting mobility through those hips. We're going to stand that back up, same position. Other side is going to come in, stand it back up. All right, and then we would reverse back into our reverse gorilla hop. All right, so let's try that, getting thrown in. Let's just start. We're going to take out the crawl just to the hop. That gorilla hop. So we'll go ahead and load that hop back. Pull with those wide feet, stand it up. Drop one knee in, stand. Other knee in, stand. Bring those hands back down, hop it back. All right, one more time, load it up. Pull and stand. Let's pivot. Boom. Other side. Boom. Cool. All right, hands down, hop it back. Feel good about it? Not too big of an addition. Let's try all 3 of them together. So we're going to get into that primal position, nice and strong, pushing those hands down. Abs are tight. All right, that checklist. All right, let's walk it forward, whatever space you may have. 3 or 4 steps. I'm going to go towards the end of my mat. I'm going to load that back, hop it up to a stand. I'm going to pivot that one leg in, stand, other leg in, stand it up. All right, we're going to reverse, hands back down, hopping back. And we're going to reverse that crawl. Back to the start, keeping that back nice and flat. Back going forward. Round number 2, same thing. We're going to load that back, hop it up, stand, dropping that pivot lunge. Other side. Hands go back down, hop it back, walk it back. All right, we're going to chain together one more, a nice 3 sets here. All right, go through this one a little bit more at your own pace. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with those movements. That body is listening to you, doing what you're asking of it, maintaining control, and relax. All right, feel good? Quads a little burny? Mine sure are. All right, so now that our hips are nice and open, we're going to go for our next kind of set of movements, a little bit more on those hips because they are so important to us. We want to make sure that we have good mobility through them at all times, right? Okay. So this next one, we're going to start in our same base position, that primal, okay? Hands and knees, we're going to tuck those toes under, lift those knees up. All right, so this one's what we call a kick through. You may have done these in class before, in another class. You're going to take that right knee, you're going to kind of almost scrape that along the ground, and we're going to kick that through to the left side, okay? That wasn't a great explanation, but here we are. So that right hand is going to be your plant hand. So remember what I talked about earlier, make sure that we have that really strong shoulder. We are actively pushing into the ground on that right hand. That left foot is nice and flat. That right heel can be on the ground. There's a little screen. And your hips are up off the ground. All right, so we're going to pull that right knee back through, back to that primal position. Going to the other side, left leg's going to come across, right hand's going to come up. Strong left hand planting, right foot planting, left leg straight out to the side. All right. Mistake that I see a lot of people do, what's the best way to do this? Is that they'll kick backwards. Okay? Think about straight out. Okay? So a nice, like I am perpendicular to my mat right now. So I want that kick to go right along that mat. Okay? So if I'm in this position, I'm not going to go backwards towards the end of my mat. I'm going to go out to the side. Okay? So we're hitting a nice little, again, perpendicular position. So nice and strong in that plant hand. Kick that other leg out. The last component of that is that top hand, that hand that we released. When we are in that primal position, we kick through. This top hand, we are pulling this arm back. We're creating tension in that upper back. Okay? Shoulder blades are both squeezing together, creating length through that kicked foot and through this top elbow. All right, creating those points as far apart as possible, coming back down. Go to the other side, kick and pull, squeeze that back, and come back down. Okay? We're going to go one more time through that at your own pace here. Once you do that kick through and you come back to that base, establish that base position before you kick to the other side, okay? If not, we're going to get a little crazy. That support arm may not be fully underneath us, all right? So let's get it up into that primal position. We're going to kick through, pull that length, squeeze it, back to base. All right, kicking through the other side, squeeze, create length, back to base, okay? So, next thing I want to teach you is a deep squat rotation. So, kind of like that gorilla hop, you're going to kind of get into, when you hop up, you're in this kind of deep squat position. So, if we're finding difficulty getting into that position, we can try it from the top, okay? From that standing position, lowering ourselves into a good squat, okay? You can work to open those hips up by using your elbows to drive those knees out. There's a good chance you might just be a little tight in there. If you can't quite get all the way down here, that's fine. As low as you can, this will work just fine. What we're going to do as we're in that deep squat, you're going to take that left elbow, you're going to put that into your side, or if you have that forearm, into that knee, either one. And we're going to take that right, and we're going to reach that up. All right, really open up. You might hear some snap, crackle, pop going in that around that spine, that low back. Totally fine. Other side, we're going to bring that, again, either elbow into your thigh or that forearm into your knee. Pull that other side up. All right, and we'll stand that up. That's a quad burner, just staying in there, right? So we're going to try that one more time. Again, trying to get a little bit lower into that squat, wherever you may be comfortable. If you're, again, all the way down here, if you've got the mobility, fantastic. All right, we're going to put, again, that elbow into that thigh. We're going to drive that hand up and bring that back down. Other side, drive that hand up and back down. Okay, so now we're going to piece those movements together. We're going to get down into our primal position, our base position. All right, hands and knees, make sure those arms are pressed into that ground. Tuck those toes under, lift those knees. All right, we're going to kick through whichever side you want to. Come back to base. Kick through the other side. Come back to base. We're going to load that hop that we talked about earlier. We're going to hop those feet to our hands. We're going to go for that rotation. Big reach. Come back down. Big reach on the other side. Back down. Hop it back. All right, let's go again. Kick through. Create length. Back to base. Kick through the other side, create length, squeeze that upper back, back to base. Load that hop, hop it up, and rotate. Reaching for that ceiling. Other side, and back down, and relax. All right, feel pretty good about that? Now we're going to try to put all the movements that we talked about today in one big set. Okay, we're just going to go for about 2 minutes here. So we're going to go for those crawls. We'll hop it up. We'll pivot. All right. We'll crawl back. At which point we'll do another hop, deep squat or kick throughs, deep squat rotation, and we'll go from there. Okay. So if you didn't quite follow along with that, I don't blame you. We'll just follow along with me. Okay. So we're going to get into our primal position. We're going to go for those bear crawls going forward. All right, good, strong position. We're going to load that hop, hop it forward, stand it all the way up. We're going to do those pivots, dropping the knee down, dropping the other knee down. All right, we're going to come back down, hop it back. We're going to walk backwards, back to that start position. We're going to go for kick throughs. Kick through one side, create length. Back to base. Kick through other side, create length. Back to base. We're going to load that hop. Hop it up. Deep squat rotation. Hopping back. Back to crawls. Walking forwards. Again, 3 or 4 reps, whatever's comfortable for you. Load it. Hop. Stand it up. Pivots. You got this. Almost there. Squat it back. Hop. Walk it backwards. Kick through. Create length. Back to base. Kick through other side. Back to base. We're going to load. Hop. Deep squat rotation. Other side. And down. We're going to go one last time. We're going to finish strong here. Crawling forward. We're going to load it back. Pop it up. Good stand. Pivot each side. Bring it back down. And we will walk it back. Kick through. Still creating length. Still intentional about our movement. Move it. Top it up. And that deep squat to finish things. And relax. All right, folks. I'm going to take a good little stretch on those quads after this one. Hopefully you enjoy some strength flow. We are here every Wednesday evening, same place, same time. Hopefully we will see you next week. We also have it the other days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. Hopefully you all have a great night. We'll be back in the morning with some morning mobility, 7 a.m. Enjoy your evening.